Next up, we have somebody that I once met at Taking the Mic at the Phoenix. My wife was actually the headliner on that one because she's not here today, but she does perform too. And I met this guy named Matthew, and I was like, wow, he's quite good. I have to have him on sometime. So everybody, Matthew Naylor.
I always imagine that I'll be really confident and witty, and then I get up here and get a bit nervous and don't know what to say, so bear with me. I wrote down the main bits. Right. That's the wrong one. When everyone finds out that you do poems, they like to give you notebooks as gifts, and then you have to work out which book the poems are in. And this one, theoretically, I know by heart, but this is here in case. This needs a little bit of explaining. My wife had just been in hospital. She nearly died. Long story, 5 years ago. But anyway, in her recovering and looking at life in the future, I just needed to get some ideas down of what the future might look like, and lots of ideas flooded out, and that's what I came up with. Well, we'll be running out of time, but we'll be sitting side by side trying to think of every single thing that we don't give a shit about. There'll be dishes left unwashed, piles of laundry clean and dirty, wet and dry, overflowing bins, hot cups of tea for which coasters have not quite yet been located, food ready to be eaten, food not quite ready yet, and the ready food getting cold in the meantime. There'll be so much dust collecting, the dust burners will be forming colonies and building whole cities. There'll be post unopened and bills unpaid, though we will have the money waiting on our accounts or under a mattress. We'll crack on through, though the telly will at last be off, the licence probably long since expired, maybe accounting for some of the unopened post. But this stressful scene won't vex us. My guitar strings will need changing, your pen will have just run out, and the only paper left will be faded receipts, because even the backs of envelopes will be full. You'll be laughing, I'll be dancing, the children will all be well fed and clothed and clean, somehow. There'll still be wine in the cupboard, it'll still always be replenished before it's emptied by those generous visits from your parents. And the recipes will no longer be Googled, they'll all be homegrown, and the walls will all be coloured with names we'll have forgotten. The fire will still warm us, but we will by then wear more jumpers that we will have knit ourselves. And every bit of space will have been filled delightedly. But for all of this chaos, there'll be no stifling, starving of oxygen or needless destruction. The creativity will be flowing, pouring like some Kate Tempest simile or metaphor, and while piles of undealt with practicalities topple onto the floor to be stepped over by us on our way upstairs, we'll be side by side in bed, not sleeping, too excited by each other's company, listing every single thing that we don't give a shit about. Thank you. Right, we got the hyper-nervous first poem in 2 years over and done with, so it'll be a bit easier from now on. This one is one that I wrote earlier this year, just a very short one. My daughter just turned 9, but at the beginning of this year, she hadn't seen real proper snow ever in her life, apart from when she was 1, so she didn't remember it. And she was absolutely desperate. Anytime there was mention of the tiniest flake of snow falling, she was desperate that the next day she was going to build a snowman, but obviously it never came. We even went out one morning and we made snow angels in thick frost on the ground just because she was that desperate to, and she was delighted with even that. But anyway, it was due to snow, but it never settled in that January. Obviously, it came later in the year, so she got what she wanted eventually, but this was when it was still not snowing quite enough. It's called Snowdraft. Outside, things fall from the sky and far away in high up places settle into heaps of unmade memories. Inside, sleeping soundly, my girl dreams her ever-optimistic dreams of building her first real snowman. Dreams she dreams with such determination, but alas, they're not the kind that settle. Next up, I have to decide whether to do another new one that I'm not that confident with or one that I know I can do. Let's gamble with the new one. Take risks. Makes us happier people, apparently. I'm just terrified. No, I'm feeling all right now. Thanks. Let's go. Trouble is, I wrote it on my phone and then I tried to transfer it to a book. The phone lights itself up so you can read the words even when the lighting's not quite right. The fantasist in me does not abstain from cliches, so I have fallen in love more times with more people than I care to admit. And we have been married before 100 setting suns, and we have lived above cities in luxury apartments with no kids and low-rise council blocks with 5. A one-bed flat in the arse end of nowhere by choice so we can make ends meet by doing nothing we don't want to. I write or sing songs, you make art to be sold and treasured, or bring down governments with your wit and pointed words. And sometimes we travel the world in a beaten-up camper, stay for a while in some distant place with the sun that lightens our hair, where foods are uncomfortably unfamiliar, and every purchase tests our mental arithmetic skills. And we laugh gutturally at things that don't translate. And sometimes we're older and we've lived through what we're living now, and other times we took a different path. But in all of these other lives, we live together. And the thing that hurts is not that these lives aren't ever going to be lived. It's that in them, it's just easier to love you like I should. Thank you. And the really, really long poem that I shortened a lot, Once Upon a Time. This is the one that gets people to tell me afterwards that they relate to it from experience. And you'll see why. They say OCD is very common, especially in boys around the age of 10. I wish that they had told me around the age of 10. Mostly I got away with laying out my pens and pencils in perfect symmetry. Mostly I got away with trying to balance out any accidental physical contact by repeating it on the other side to make it symmetrical. A right knuckle bumps on the edge of the desk. The left imitates it to restore balance, but it doesn't feel right because it happened one after the other and not at the same time. Repeat the 2-touch sequence with the left and then a right to restore balance, but that doesn't feel right because it went right, left, right, and that's not quite right. And again, but now in reverse. Left, right, left. But really that's just a longer sequence that still started with the right, and I need to match the whole thing, but starting with the left. Left, right, left, right. Surely that's fine now? No, still doesn't feel quite right. But I'm doubling the sequence with every attempt to restore balance, and it's getting harder and harder to remember, and a mistake would spell disaster. Better quit while I'm ahead. I should quit while I'm ahead. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. That should be enough. Fine, sure? No, it still doesn't feel right. It still doesn't feel balanced. It'll be okay. I'll stop now. I can stop now. I can just stop when I want to. It's fine. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That'll do. I'll stop now. I've lost count anyway. And then moved on into year 6. The invisible wires that trailed off the back of my feet and got tangled on angular objects and wound round my ankles if I failed to undo every turn I made. And then in year 7, when I was walking to and from school, the cars would kill my feet if I was standing in line with the cracks in the pavement as their wheels rolled by. Year 8, the constant clearing of my throat. Why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Year 9, the noise in the back of the throat like the old pulse-style phones, somewhere between the rotary and the touch tone. Why do you keep doing that? I wasn't doing anything. Or year 10, tiny little lip pops for some reason. Why do you keep doing that? Don't know. And then 6th form, got a bit better. Tracing with my toes. Usually the patterns on curtains or maybe a nice, interesting, brightly coloured and patterned carpet. My near invisible tick. Only detectable by the slight, slow shuffling of my feet on the floor. Going well, yeah? Except for the time that Alex's girlfriend wore a Levelers t-shirt with a swirling pattern on it, and we stood in a circle talking, and I traced the letters of the words over and over for ages and ages in a tracing trance till I was snapped out of it by, why are you staring at my girlfriend's chest? I was just reading it. It says Levelers. Crimson and dying inside, actually dying. Would it be more embarrassing to tell them the truth? Would they even believe me? I wasn't staring at her chest. I was tracing the letters on the t-shirt with my toes inside my shoes, because I'm really normal. So it's either freak or pervert who can't admit when he's caught. I get anxious and it makes me do weird stuff. And if you point it out, it'll just probably get worse. So maybe just let me trace the patterns with my big toes in simultaneous symmetry inside my shoes. It might seem weird, might seem off-putting, but sometimes a kid just needs to trace a goddamn curtain pattern, okay? Thank you.